Hello everyone. So we are back for 5th of March with the daily cybersecurity news. The first news is Google discloses unpatched high-severity flaw in Apple macOS kernel. So it's a bit complex news to understand, but I'll try to explain it quickly. So a cybersecurity researcher from Google's Project Zero division has disclosed details and proof of concept with the exploit for a high severity security vulnerability in macOS from Apple, which actually Google reported to Apple, but Apple did not fix in 90 days, and that's why Google is coming out in public now with this vulnerability. So what is the vulnerability? So the vulnerability resides in the way Mac OS XNU kernel allows an attacker to manipulate file system images without informing the operating system. So there is a gap, like the operating system doesn't get the information, and so the attacker can just manipulate the file in the backend, the image file. So this flaw could eventually allow an attacker or a malicious program to bypass copy and write functionality. So copy and write is also called shadowing, and it's used in many kernels, including Linux kernel. So it allows the malicious program or attacker to bypass copy and write functionality to cause unexpected changes in the memory shared between processes, leading to memory corruption attacks. So how the researcher finds this? As an example, when a mounted file system image is mutated directly, this information is not propagated into the mounted file system. Thus, a malicious program or an attacker can simply make changes to evicted pages stored in the disk without informing the virtual management subsystem, switching actually the destination process into loading a manipulated malicious image file or other content in the memory. So that was one part, but in addition to that, the researcher from Project Zero also found a similar copy and write behavior, which they named CVE 2019-6208, by abusing another function in macOS operating system. And as per current status, Apple is currently working with the Project Zero team in Google to get a fix out for this vulnerability as soon as possible. Okay, then moving on to the second news we have. Phisher announces more attacks against hedge funds and financial firms. So this is kind of a day-to-day phishing attempt, but this one is serious because it's against hedge funds and the financial firms, which could be a big impact to these firms. Okay, so here goes the news. A new phishing campaign called Beyond the Grave targeted international hedge funds on January 9th, which is last month. And as per the statement posted to Bleeping Computer, so the Phisher did post the information to Bleeping Computer. The attackers have stated that they will continue to target banking and financial institutions in the future. So this one is particularly for 4 hedge funds as per the news: AQR, Citadel, Bernstein, and Capital Fund Management. So how it works: these phishing emails actually impersonate a legitimate financial research company named Axia, AKSIA, and it pretends to be a research regarding rumors related to ESMA, which is European Securities and Markets Authority, that ESMA is halting short selling during the Brexit time, which is pretty famous these days, the Brexit discussions. So these phishing emails contains links to the alleged research located at the website www.aksia.co, which is actually not a real site, because the real site for this this firm Axia is aksia.com. So okay, let's go further in the news. So when visiting these URLs, actually there's nothing on the blank. There's nothing but a blank page when user goes to axia.co. So at this point, it's not known if there was something already on this website, or actually if the website was always blank and the intention of the hacker was just to show a blank website to the users and then ask the user or force the user to send an email to the hacker. Because if you see a blank website and you are actually looking for a research, then you would usually reply back to the sender saying that, oh, you sent me a website, but actually the website is blank. And actually for one case that did happen for one of the hedge funds, and the user actually went back to the hacker. Okay, but to avoid such issues, whenever you receive or a user receives some information which is a financial one or important information, they should always Google the website for the sender, and then directly try to see if the website is a legitimate website or not. Like in this case, user could easily find if the real website is axia.com and not axia.co. Okay, so that's our news number 2. Okay, so moving on to our third news, which is for RSA. So there are 2 RSA products which have been found with security flaws. So the first one is RSA Archer, and the second one is RSA Authentication Manager products. So just to give a quick understanding what are these products. So RSA Archer is a solution which allows to build an efficient, collaborative enterprise governance, risk, and compliance program across IT, finance. So it includes policy, risk, compliance, enterprise, incident, vendor, threat, business continuity, and audit management. The second product, which is RSA Authentication Manager, is actually a platform behind the RSA Security tokens that allows for centralized management of the RSA Security environment, which includes authentication methods, users, applications, and agents across multiple physical sites. So it verifies authentication requests and centrally administer an organization's authentication policies. Okay, so now about the flaws. The first one for RSA Archer. So any RSA Archer prior to version 6.5 SP1 contains an information exposure vulnerability. So how it works, any user session information is logged in plain text in the RSA Archer log files. So this one actually impacts any version before 6.5 SP2. And then the other one, which is the database connection passwords, also may get logged in plain text in the RSA Archer log files. So both of these vulnerabilities are given the CVSS score of 7.8 out of 10. RSA said that it has fixes for the multiple security vulnerabilities that could potentially be exploited by malicious users to compromise the affected system, and it recommends that all customers upgrade at the earliest opportunity. The second vulnerability in the RSA Authentication Manager contains the vulnerability associated with insecure credential management. So for this one, any version prior to 8.4 P1 contains this insecure credential management vulnerability. So a malicious operations console administrator may be able to obtain the value of a domain password that another operations console administrator had set previously and can be used for attacks. This one is given a score of 5.8, and the company said that everyone who are using products before this version should upgrade at the earliest opportunity for RSA Authentication Manager with the 8.4 P1 or later. Moving on to the fourth news, which is popular visitor management systems, VMS, popularly known, exposed due to security bugs. So this one is actually from IBM's X-Force Red team. Okay, so VMS or visitor management systems are a norm in most private or public buildings. So they play an essential role in the physical security of the premises of any organization. And as found by the IBM's X4 Red team, a string of security flaws are present in the different VMS systems. The researchers revealed that the vulnerabilities ranging from data exfiltration to complete system takeover by external entities are available. And the researcher's name is Daniel Crowley, who is the research director of IBM X-Force Red Team. And he shared three big things about the vulnerabilities after the analysis they have done on the VMS systems. The first one was how easy it is to get checked in as a visitor without any sort of real identification information. The second one is how easy it is to get other people's information out of the system. And third one is there a way that an adversary can break out of the application or cause it to crash or to get arbitrary code execution to run on the targeted device and gain a foothold to attack the corporate network. And following this analysis on the VMS systems and following this disclosure, IBM's X-Force Red Team have already notified the respective VMS providers for these flaws, although they did not mention the names in the news. Going on to the fifth and the final news for today, cyber criminals cash in on millions with form jacking. So this news comes from Symantec ISTR team, which is Symantec's Internet Security Threat Report team. Okay, so this is how the news goes. With the diminishing returns from ransomware and cryptojacking, cyber criminals are now moving towards alternative methods such as form jacking to make money, according to Symantec's ISTR team. As we know, ransomwares are getting low because people are keeping more backups as they know the problems with ransomware, and cryptojackings are also not paying as much because of the cryptocurrency not going big. So the new one is form jacking. So form jacking is the new get-rich-quick scheme for cyber criminals. This is what Victor Lau, the Chief Operating Officer of Enterprise Security Greater China region at Symantec, says. He says that these attacks are simple, essentially virtual ATM skimming, where cyber criminals inject malicious code into retailers' websites to steal shoppers' payment card details. On average, more than 4,800 unique websites are compromised with form jacking code every month. That's a big number, 4,800 in a month. And as per Symantec, they have blocked 3.7 million form jacking attacks on endpoints in last year, 2018, with nearly a third of all detections occurring during the busiest online shopping period of the year, which is November and December. So while the number of well-known companies such as Ticketmaster and British Airways were compromised with form jacking code last year, the research from Symantec reveals that small and medium-sized retailers are by and large the most widely compromised. Okay, so we covered 5 news today. We'll see you guys and girls again tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.